Daniel Sabo.
Thank you for the opportunity tonight. I'll just be very brief. I think the park project is a wonderful thing for Plymouth. The only thing I would like to see, the old saying, trust but verify. The last thing I think anybody would want to see happen if the park folks could, for whatever reason, not fulfill the intended goal, that the property should revert back to either the school district or the city until it can be, the dream can be fulfilled. So the last thing I think anybody would want to see months or years down the road is the property going to a third party and ending up as some kind of a housing development or a retail space, something like that. So I really think the park is great. I hope it the goal is fulfilled, but I think it should be stipulated in the agreement that if for whatever reason it cannot be fulfilled, it goes back to the city or the school district. The reason why I bring that up is that the land was has been in the public domain since the 1850s. It was donated by Ebenezer Penniman, and in Sam Hudson's book, this book, Michigan's 10th largest, there is even a question as to when the deed was turned over to the school district on page 16, and then again on page 40 there's a section about the park in front of the school, which the school board originally was saying that they owned the property, and then in 1913 they rescinded ownership and gave it to the city. My point is that the land has been in the public domain for a very long time, and actually if you even go to page 122 in Liz Kirsten's book, it states right here, the land behind Plymouth High School was donated by George Starkweather. So this was land to be intended from the very beginning to be in the public domain, and I think that you should stipulate in the agreement that if anything goes wrong, I hope it doesn't, but if it does, it stays in the public domain, because I don't want to come back 10 years from now and see condominiums or apartments in the place. In the property, and I also think you should reconsider the situation with Starkweather School for the same reasons, very similar reasons, which I discussed in the past two articles in the Plymouth Observer, because that was approved by a bond issue by the voters of Plymouth. I think that if you're going to sell that property, it should also be approved by the voters of Plymouth, and instead of just the board, because that was bought and paid for with taxpayer dollars in 1926, and it's a historic building, and it should remain in the public domain, including the playground in back. I don't think you should tear up green space in Old Village, and I went into detail as to why I think that it should stay in the public domain. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is